So we're looking at the principles of reflecting for choice. And we're going to be looking right now at the process of reflecting and how important that process is. And I've got with me Elana, who's going to be talking about a formula that goes behind this principle of effective reflecting. Elana, we've got a formula here, S plus T equals R. Can you tell me a bit about that formula and what it really means?
Sure, Gary. So S stands for stimulus, T stands for thought, and R stands for response. So, as you can see, stimulus plus thought equals response. Now, natural human instinct is that a stimulus happens, or an issue, or something out in the external world, and we automatically respond to that based on our belief systems, our experiences, our peers, various things come into play where it's a natural response, something we don't even have to think about. What we're challenging here in this formula is to stop and think. A stimulus happens, we actually need to stop and think about it through thought processes to therefore have the best response possible. So now it's important to actually have the right mindsets to be able to think clearly to be able to get that right response.
Okay, so basically what we're talking about here is taking the time to reflect before we actually move forward with a response. So there's another one I've seen, which is E plus R equals O, which is event plus response equals outcome. But what you're actually saying is within that R, there is the need to look at the S plus T.
Absolutely. It's critical to really stop and see what's happening up here to make sure that the right outcome happens.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for that. So having got that principle behind us and that formula behind us, there is a process of mindsets that I've heard talked about that is really, really important in developing this response in a positive way. Elana, can you tell us a little bit about those three mindsets? Just what are they? What are the three important mindsets that we need to develop?
Sure, there's three fundamental mindsets. The first one is to have an accountable mindset. The second one is about being adaptable and flexible, so a very flexible mindset. And the third one is the can-do mindset, positive attitude.
Okay, so those three mindsets have got to be combined to get an end result.
That's right.
So the first mindset that Elana's mentioned is the accountable mindset. And what we're going to be looking at now is that accountable mindset. What does accountable mean in relation to reflecting? How do we relate those two?
So, as you can see from the slide, there are three areas to ensure that you have an accountable mindset. The first part is about being. So, to be aware of your own feelings, to be aware of your value sets, to really be aware of what it is that you want. By being aware, you actually act in a certain way. And that's the next level, which is about doing. So this is how you behave and this is how you act according to the situation. In terms of doing that, you then have the right results. So it's about being, it's about doing, and it's about having. The important thing to remember here is you're actually going from the bottom to the top of the slide. In that order, really important. It's very, very easy for an organisation to get caught up in the moment and actually go from top down. So there's organisational results happening and performance is happening. Therefore, the business acts in a certain way, which might be the wrong way, and therefore you feel and your values are compromised, which is your being. So it's important to turn it around and make sure that you actually do it from bottom up.
Yeah, okay, that's a really important thing because as we become more familiar with people, we actually start to sometimes lose the feeling bit, don't we? We actually don't start to go into that feeling bit in ourselves. We just react. And that's one of the challenges in this area of the accountable mindset.
Absolutely.